we've seen, New Valley, they have a lot of players. So
Right.
they could swap a lot of players out. They could do a lot of things with that. Hecarim, immediately out of the table. You already saw what it was
Yeah.
doing. You were making those those horse nurses in the back.
I think I was. I think
Yeah.
I was making a winner here and
The
there. but
F1 jokes.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to as
No.
Hecarim gets banned out from the very get-go. That's just unfortunate. But no, I was just surprised because when I saw that in the game that you guys had with that Hecarim, just the speed of that Hecarim and then just the pop on the Jin
Boom.
was just absolutely insane. That's how, I guess, overpowered it's. I mean, despite the scaling, that's how just good Hecarim is in general. But now on the other side, I mean, you saw that Darius pentakill earlier on, so New Valley says we don't want to deal with that right away.
Yeah, star players on either side right here, really defining what it would be like. And we're seeing a Caitlyn ban, I think for the first time this entire day. We've been seeing Caitlyn almost every game. That long-range versatility with the traps, very good with pairing in terms of bot lane utility. And Heimerdinger, not necessarily a ban I was expecting to see, but I think mostly not for the things that Heimerdinger was able to do, but more so for the flexibility of that pick. We were talking about how it can be top middle bot support. If you have to predict that within, a championship match, that's going to be a lot of resources devoted into optimizing for every scenario possible and not just focusing on just banning it out.
Yeah, now they're going to have the last pick here for New Valley, which is the Gwen. I mean, I don't think I've seen at least a Gwen this time around at all in any of these series.
Nope.
But I guess maybe they're thinking that this might be a threat to them in any case in their composition.
They could potentially see it. I've been talking about damage profiles a lot, just to update you. Top and mid, where you typically like to have either the same damage type or opposite damage type, but the jungler should not be matching with whichever lane you plan on ganking the most. That's just because if you do that, you're going to make it a lot easier for people to itemize. The reason why that Darius blew up was because Set Viego, constant ganking from the Set, and the Viego, not going to work out too well with it being the same damage type. Pantheon. Ooh.
I think this might be the first time we see a Pantheon, too.
I think this might be the first time we see it, and it's going to be locked in. The problem now for HBA is, where is it going? Can be top, can be mid, can even be a CC support that we've seen with stuff like Samiral or even Swain.
I think another part, too, is like, I mean, at least for middle school side, right, you don't know where anything is going to go. I know you two were confused a little bit during, like, where is it? We were getting, I shouldn't say confused, but it was a guessing game as to where things were going to go, right? And eventually we saw Mundo and the Fiddlesticks down middle as well, which usually doesn't happen. Never happens, right? At least in higher professional gameplay. Usually doesn't happen like that. But I guess in this part, now you're going to see the set come out. So looking like at least sets pretty much set in stone for could be a top lane.
Pun not intended.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Volibear also coming out as well, but we saw I mean, Volibear being top lane, I mean, just a little bit of a rotator as well and making a big impact in that last series.
Yeah, and I think the scary thing is if the matchup is going to be Volibear Set, that it's going to not work in favor of the Set. That is actually a really good matchup for the Volibear. Yes, Set is good into scaling, has the math set. I talked about it already. Also just has raw damage as is, but Volibear just has those stats built into the abilities straight up. You do not need items to perform. You only really need to be tanky, and you can win extended fights with the Set. And Set loves being in extended fights, but is not the benefactor here. There's that Samir that we were talking about very well with the Pantheon. That chain CC is super easy to land. The way you can kind of counter it, be very far away from them. And that's what the Aphelios here is going to be for.
Yeah, and we saw ICB as well, and I think this is where it comes in, right? ICB picking out that Lilia is where you get the ban on the Hecarim, and is this right? Oh, okay. So the pick that takes Henry's heart here, if that holds true. If it holds true.
If it holds true.
Wait,
it's locked in.
It is locked in. It's locked in after all. It will be the Senna that is brought out. And again, I think this is the first time pick here in at least all the series that I've seen. But I think Senna will be a first-time pick here, at least for the bottom lane.
You're absolutely correct. This is the first-time pick for Senna. This is actually a very scary thing to draft into a Pantheon and a Samira, just because you have that ability to use your Shroud to prevent the Pantheon from landing that point-click CC onto you. Obviously, it needs to be within target anyway. So it's going to have to invest the flash for a little bit more, a bit of misstep. But what the Senna can do with the Aphelios, they're two of the longest range people in the entire game. You're meant to poke out the enemy bot laner here, but you can kind of see the damage profiling coming out now. Volibear, AP on the top side. Wukong, AD in the jungle. Galio, AP in the middle lane. That's going to be very difficult for this Lilia and this set to itemize against, and Mordekaiser going to be rounding on the composition is making me think that this is going to be a set mid.
Yeah, I mean, that would be on the assumption as well. But now, I mean, the Mordekaiser has been so dangerous all the games that we've seen. Super dangerous with the pull and then just the amount of damage that he just normally does as well. And as K-Tadwood says, it sends him to the Shadow Realm. And we've known how many times that Shadow Realm is so good for that Mordekaiser.
Open for business 24/7.
Yeah, just it's open for business. As soon as that ult comes out, it's popped. And it's just, you have a fun time there. Most times it's not great.
We have a friend that does not like to be in the Shadow Realm at all.
It goes by a different name, but I don't think we can say it here.
I don't think we can say it here, but regardless, does not like the Shadow Realm. 0 out of 10. Yelp review, you know, like it's not there. But
the Yelp review is not great.
The Yelp review is not great. Highly recommend against reading it. You know, but yeah, we have the team compositions designed, like they're set out for us. We can kind of talk a little more about it. One thing I do want to point out is that Samira is not known for building an offensive type of boots. We've seen Samiras very often with the plated steel caps or the ninja tabbies if you're more to the younger audience of League. But we can see the Merc Treads, we can see the movement speed, but we don't see like Berserker's Greaves, Ionian. We don't see anything that helps with the damage output. And I think that's going to help out with the laning assignment because Aphelios and Senna are both AD champions, right? And Senna really thrives on collecting souls and being a little bit of an aggressor there. The reason Senna works out into the Samira matchup so much is because Senna doesn't throw projectiles for auto attacks. They're kind of just mist that just happens. So even if you have the wind wall up, Senna auto attacks still go through to Samira.
Right. So, I mean, right now it seems like for composition-wise, I mean, for you, does it sound, I mean, other than the Senna standout, obviously, but I mean, is there anything here? I mean, it looks like New Valley's opting on the side of a little bit more comfort. I mean, we saw Volibear, we've seen the Samira, we've seen the Wukong here. I think Galio was a rather newer pick here as well. So, same with Pantheon. For Hawaii Baptist Academy, I mean, ICB's then just been a threat in the jungle no matter what they play. We saw the Rammus, right, in game number 1. We saw, or excuse me, game 2, the Hecker amount in game number 1. You can't really just ban one player, but for ICB's sake right now, I mean, you kind of have to try to counter him. So for the Lilia, at the very least, is this the right pick?
I think it's fine, honestly, yeah. I think what New Valley are going to try to do is their goal is definitely just to jump into the enemy team. HBA are going to need as many resources as they can to peel away from it, and I think the Lilia Sleep, a very highly undervalued ability, is going to be able to just slow down the pace of it and maybe even turn a battle around without you even realizing it. For the first time, though, we are seeing 2 different smites coming out from the 2 junglers. We have the red camp. I don't know what it's called. I have not played jungle since the preseason. I am not a jungler player at all. I hate that role. I will contribute to that mounting pool of not playing the jungle
But
role.
you do play Senna ADC.
But I do play Senna ADC. Right. Yes. I'm a different kind of weird. It's in the League community.
Completely different. I mean, we see Senna in the support role more often than not, but you decide to think Senna's got enough to do in the ADC role.
Yes, I do. But regardless, yes, we do see 2 different smites. They do have different effects. I believe that the Lilia one is for movement speed, while the Wukong one is for burn. So they have different purposes now here, but you can see the early wards. This isn't very normal typically, but just to make sure that there's no sneaky business, no invades, without needing to invest people to be there. Because if you had a Senna stand there, if you had an Aphelios stand there, if there happened to be an invade, they would be gone. Immediately, they would have to burn a flash or even first blood with the flash down.
Yeah, so not like we haven't seen a lot of invades either. I mean, we really haven't seen a bunch of invades at the very start of the game. So at the very least, I mean, they're just taking precautions, if anything, because you never know what a team can adjust in their break time. And right, you want to try to get that early advantage. Really isn't going to happen here. So at least for New Valley at the start, the bot lane is just going to start off with a little bit of an advantage, if you will, in that minion lane.
Yeah, and I typically don't know if you want to push up the minion wave if you're a Samira and a Pantheon, just because, look, now the wave is going to be stuck right up against that last push, right? The second wave is going to crash in, and they could choose to freeze it here, right here, and they wouldn't get level 2 first, but the point of the fact of the matter is that now the Pantheon has no avenue to cheese and jump in and as opposed to playing with the
gosh.
wave, and you can already see that damage from the set is absolutely disgusting. Galio,
Set going, sorry, so I mean, set going right in. I mean, if that Galio wasn't very careful, I mean, you already saw it, right? That Galio is not the half health. I mean, we've seen set be so much trouble in the games all throughout the day today that if that set can get ahead of you, especially in that, you saw that level 2 to level 1 situation, if that set gets ahead of you, I mean, it's going to be real big trouble for you.
Pushing up is going to be the Aphelios. That's going to be the full man dive. 2 people jumping, and that is the Aphelios immediately dead to rights.
I mean, well, they're in a little bit of trouble as well. They pushed, I mean, they froze it right there, right? You saw where they froze it, and then it's just a great jump in there for New Valley, a little bit of crossfire view while Hawaii Baptist Academy kind of caught off guard here. A battle at top between Captain Panda as well as, well, the player that is
we don't know.
We don't know. It was a little bit of a problem with the account, so they have the HBU Esports account going on, but regardless of that fact right now, I mean, this Volibear is just causing this Mordekaiser a lot of trouble. I mean, the minion wave all the way up pretty much to turret.
I mean, silver lining, can't get ganked, you know, so
right.
the Mordekaiser is safe for a little bit. I think that was definitely an overstep by the bot lane of HBA. I think what was happening was the Senna was reading for one of the souls to grab onto the, good damage trade though.
Wow, that was a close fight, though. I mean, had they tried to come in a bit more, you might have seen a kill on either side, really. But now 2-on-1 with the gank from ICB. Captain Panda forced to flash away for right now. And that's going to force Hawaii Baptist Academy to stave off of that gank for right now. But it forces out a flash, so not the worst case scenario there. Not
the worst case scenario if the unnamed Mordekaiser player is able to take advantage of it, or if there can be repeat ganks later from ICB. But so far, not that bad. I think a little bit of waste of time. Like we said, the flash has to pay dividends. But Master Quan coming in.
On the gank, 3-on-2 situation. Can they get the kill? Bonini's so close to it, but taking turret shots already. Falls so low, so both of them have to back off. The gank is there, but Bonini falling so low they can't follow up with it.
They can't follow up, mostly because they don't know where the set went. The set off the map definitely just went for the recall and is just walking back to lane. But you never know with these situations, right? The early game is full of surprises sometimes, and it's a matter of where they end up playing around. The taunt going to connect, not going to do a lot of damage. I was going to mention that Galio has a built-in magic shield, but Set has 0 magic damage. Everything is punch, 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 boom, 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 right? It's all physical damage, and so you don't really get the full benefit of your passive being there, but you're starting to see the implications of what it means to build this double marksman bottom lane, both being very squishy, both being very susceptible, both with no mobility. And I think that's one of the biggest things I want to highlight, is because if you have somebody jump on you, you don't really get a lot of things going on, except ICB coming in.
Forced out a flash, but flashes on their own. Can they get the damage off? No, has to back off.
One more Q was not enough, but invested the flash trade there. I don't know if you want it in exchange, but hold on. The passive ticking?
Is it enough?
Not enough.
No. Wow.
4 HP tells us from the observer. 4 health. A single tick away would have made the difference. Drink your potions, kids.
Make sure you always have that potion in
HP pots are important.
Yeah, HP pots are important. Very much important. So, and now they've got the first turret plate, so it's not like New Valley's on the back end here. They've got first blood, they've got the first turret plate, right? So this bot lane looking pretty dang good right about now. I mean, they've got so much advantage. Even if it seems like this minion wave is pushed up, they pretty much have advantage to start this game.
Yep, 16 CS is the differential.
Right?
Yeah, 1.8K. We were talking about it. New Valley are really good at doing this minion lead. We see it throughout the entire series. The only game where we didn't really see it is the game that they lost in. And every other game that has happened for this team, they've won it successfully. And so I think they're off to a very good start. I think Lunarox losing his flash on the Pantheon is very, very important and very, very good for HBA, because now they don't have to worry about that Flash Pantheon engage coming in, and they can farm a little bit safer. But they are still both marksmen. They are still both very squishy, so there are things for them to worry about. But now, you know, less priority into that bottom lane, and hopefully more towards the other 2 lanes on the map.
It looks like they may be thinking about trying something for a little bit of a gang, but back off for right now. I mean, look, for DK right now, I mean, you don't have a flash either, so New Valley could take advantage of it. Right now, a 2-on-1 in the jungle. backs away for a little bit. Wukong having to go down back to the bot lane for a little while, but the Pantheon able to find a kill onto the Aphelios. So that should be a little bit of a goal signal, and that's 4 people down in bot lane, so possible dragon?
Possible dragon. I was questioning what the Galio ult was for. I guess it is to get into this vicinity faster, so it made sense. But you could see, we were talking about where the lane was for the minions. If that bot lane is in the middle of the lane or still within susceptible reach of one of the bushes on the bottom side, Pantheon doesn't need Flash to be able to get onto you. He just hides in the bush. You can't push anything. You can't greed for CS. And look at the CS differential already. The creep score is 45-19. The Aphelios is already 2 deaths into the gutter. It's already not looking great for HBA. And this shows that New Valley have been playing that bot lane perfectly. They've been doing it, you know, on all of these series that we've seen. It's been a story of how the bot lane has gone. You've seen a lot of jungle influence there. And right now, I'm trying to read this Samira's name. I'm going to say Bambolini Boy.
Banini Boy.
Oh, Banini Boy, you're right. Banini Boy is doing great in terms of pushing this aggression. Has the Vamp Scepter to stay healthy and is just going to keep doing this over and over again.
Oh, it's a scrum down the middle, though, between the Set and the Galio here, but Set having to back away just a little bit more. I mean, same level difference, but just the damage coming out from the Galio right now just a little bit too much. And again, I mean, right now you're talking about a gold differential, right? I mean, right now it's sitting at about 2.5K. And New Valley did this very early on in their second game in the series here. They keep battling this out. I mean, this is a battle fight for fight.
Pushes him under tower.
But it's not enough. The turret doesn't target him, so it doesn't really happen anyways. A 2-on-1 charge in. Gank really doesn't happen here for the Wukong anyway, so they're forced to back up for right now, but not too bad either. You pull out the ultimate without dying.
Positive trade for Mokazu, takes out the Flash from the Galio, now has Flash advantage if he chooses to do that again. I want to see if we can highlight how many stacks the Senna currently has right now, because we were talking about the Aphelios being behind. That has implications for the support as well. Typically as a Senna, at the bare bones, you want to have 3. Oh, but hold on, the full-on engage.
Full-on engages here, and they're going to try to take this all down. Flashes are out. They are able to take down IDK, and it's a 1-for-0 trade down in the bot lane, and that's going to probably be, it might just be another turret play down, although they're looking to back off for right now.
And the difference there could have been if IDK decided to invest the exhaust. That would have meant that the Samira had so much less damage, and that wouldn't have resulted in a kill. We got to see how many stacks the Senna was at. I like to assume for supports, you typically want about 3 stacks per minute. So right now, you should be close to 30. She's at 19.
Wow. Meaning
you didn't have the range increase yet. You don't have the crit chance increase. You are not a viable champion for the time being. And if this trend continues, ICB.
ICB is caught out. And all they can do is run for their lives as the pinch maneuver is on from Captain Panda. They're going to turn around and go for the Mordekaiser as well. It's a little bit split as well. But the Mordekaiser able to take down the Volibear in the 1v1 situation. Mokazu goes out as well. So not too bad. A 1-for-1 there. But the Mordekaiser still in a lot of trouble with the Wukong on their tail. And this is going to be another kill here. Oh, it's a turnaround. Oh my gosh, the damage from the Mordekaiser just absolutely smashes the Wukong, and it's a 2-for-1 trade for New Valley.
The same mistake is being made by every team that has fought on Mordekaiser today, going one by one into it. Mordekaiser's Q does bonus damage if you're the only person hit by it. So if you're taking a 1v1 fight with the Mordekaiser, you will have to expect to take extra damage. But not only that, because the Volibear died inside the realm, the Mordekaiser had bonus AP stats to back that up until the Volibear spawned back up again. And so tragedy on tragedy, and what looked like a convincing start for the bot half of New Valley. Now HBA, they have an avenue back into this game, and it is the top side.
And it's not like Hawaii Baptist is out of this either, but it's just that, I mean, New Valley took first Dragon. They've got the 2-kill advantage. They've got a 3K gold advantage, and that's where, I mean, you talk about the CS going on right now. I mean, just the difference right now. A little bit of a gank going on, but they've got the sleep on right now, just charging right in. Banini Boy's got it. IDK has to flash away, but now they're going to come right back in with ICB. Can they pull out the damage? Enough to do so, and Banini Boy on the brink of death is going to go back to the fountain. A 1-for-0 there, but it is Banini Boy heading back. And it's going to be a push-up here for bot lane for HBA.
A strike for Icy Boy, landing the Pantheon and the Samira into the sleep. It was just a perfect setup. It looked really sketchy there because Banini Boy was so close to the Inferno trigger, just one grade away. It was already at A, just needed one more ability to combo to an S, but it felt like he was panicking on the keyboard and wasn't really thinking about what ability he used previously because he was sitting on that last grade for about 3 seconds here. But Galio looking for a gank, not going to fall susceptible to it. Decently difficult to gank a Galio, but that was a shutdown going over to Puffin's pockets.
Is this more looking for the steal? It won't happen. Looks like the Rift Herald goes to New Valley in the meantime, but the fight inside of the pit right now as they try to get out, but the Mordekaiser will not escape with their life. And it's a jump over as well, an ultimate used by the set, but it might go all for nothing here. As, oh my god, the Master is so much trouble right now with this Wukong solo health burning away little by little. ICB is going to capture that, as well as the life of the Galio, and Hawaii Baptist Academy right back in this game.
Right back into the thick of it. Immediately able to capitalize on the members of the team that have just not been performing too well so far. They don't have the kills, they don't have the aggression, they don't have the resources. And now, Ravenous Hydra stacking available for the Wukong, but if you die, you kind of lose all of those stacks, or a majority of it, I should say. Captain Panda and now Banini Boy are the only 2 members on the team that stand a viable chance, which is good, given that Captain Panda is AP and given that Banini is AD. So you have the 2 damage types online, but you can kind of already see that the map pressure is starting to mount. But catching out Mokazu.
Oh, Mokazu is in a lot of trouble here, caught out with the Pantheon ult to start off, and Mokazu is just going to fall down, which means mid lane opens up just a little bit more there, and now it looks like they're going to go down for the Dragon.
Going down for the Dragon, keeping it a Dragon lead for them. They want to get to that soul as soon as possible. Think about it. Cloud, first movement speed, gone. Chemtech, gone. And I did see the signal. You do want to joke about the 2 Drake curse, but we didn't get to talk about it a lot this game. Mostly because a lot of the teams, once they got the first 2 dragons, they were able to complete their journey to the soul. And so it was enough. What is the dragon going to be? We're not too sure, but that's going to be... But hold on, look at the catch.
Yeah, they flash right into the fight here. ICB is in a lot of trouble. They're going to push all the way back here. And there's going to be an ult from the Senna as well. They're just going to dash right in. It's a 4v3 situation here. Banini Boy's got the kill onto the Aphelios as well. But ICB could take care of business. It ain't going to happen when Wukong's in your backline as well. They traded that out for the Pantheon in the backline, but IDK is in so much trouble. And New Valley's going to get a 3-for-1 trade, and that is going to be another push for them. But look at Mokazu. Mokazu is in trying to do a little bit of a flank here. Maybe he's got the chance. He doesn't really see the opportunity to do so and will back off. So New Valley, what a fight for them.
What a fight for them, and it looked really good for HBA in the beginning. That 4-man sleep by ICB, you would think everybody would get away scot-free, but they saw that as an opportunity to re-engage, but they didn't have the damage. I think Puffin was already out of the fight by that time, and IDK is super behind on stacks, is not opting in for any of the damagey builds. I think this is going to be a Sunderer, actually, for IDK, so not the most damage coming out from the Senna, and so you can't expect a lot of engage happening, but now 9-6 being the scoreboard and the goal lead in New Valley's pockets, it's starting to look scary.
Well, I mean, it's not like Hawaii Baptist is out of this either, right? I mean, sure, the lead looks very big right now at a 4.3 goal differential. Banini Boy's trying to make this a difference as well, though. Mokazu's in a lot of trouble. No more shield either. Is taken out from the Pantheon for right now. And now into the jungle they go, into the river. And Mokazu is going to be met up with the fight of ICB. Does not matter. Pantheon's going to go up, and ICB can only just wait for death to approach, as 2 more kills inside of the jungle. Neo Valley just growing the lead even more.
They definitely are, and it's very difficult. Sometimes you got to learn when to stem your losses. Instead of having 1 death, they had 2 there. The Lilia could have definitely avoided the situation, but the Galio charging in. Banini Boy on the flank here.
Looking for the flank as well. They do get IDK caught out, and this is going to be bot lane just absolutely wiped. 7-kill advantage, 6.5k gold lead here for New Valley, and it's looking very good for New Valley at this moment.
Very good. They are the kings of game number 1s. I want to see how much of that 6,000 is in the pockets of the Samira. You have to assume that that's going to be a full item in the lead right there as soon as the back is completed. That's going to be a 2nd item right there for the Samira, and you can see across the board 100, 200, and there's just so much money in everybody's pockets. The Volibear and the Mordekaiser duking it out, and look at that. ICB just has to flash.
Yeah, I mean, ICB has to just force the flash away because they know that as soon as one person shows up, the cavalry comes right after that.
The Goon Squad.
Yeah, the Goon Squad just comes right in and just absolutely going to pinch, and that's what New Valley has been doing well, right? As soon as they see one person, if they're like out of position, they know that they can just group them up right away. This might be a 1v1 though in the case, but Hawaii Baptist Academy might have man advantage here. First of all, in the back line, but has to run away for their lives right now.
Wukong.
Here comes the Wukong in play with a spin away here, and IDK has to back up for their life, meaning that ICB is all by themselves, and this is looking like another fight win here for Hawaii Baptist Academy. Can ICB get out? That answer is yes for right now. Mokuzu comes into the jungle as well, looking for any kind of stop here, but Mokuzu is going to be a lot of trouble. Nobody can really help either because they're oh so low, and this is going to be Mokuzu falling by themselves inside of the jungle. They're going to follow that up with a few more as well. Dry Puffin's in so much trouble here. The Wukong's going to find another. IDK is only going to run 3-0 in the jungle, and New Valley just keeps the pace going.
They keep fighting in these tight corridors in the jungle where they absolutely just don't have vision. You can see them jumping onto that Galio, but there was just nothing warded. They couldn't tell if anybody was going to be approaching that fight. And like you said, one person shows up, there's going to be the whole cavalry, and it keeps happening. The Goon Squad, it just keeps happening over and over and over again, and Hawaii Baptist Academy, they need some type of answer for it.
And what you notice too is not in a lot of these fights, the Mordekaiser isn't showing up either.
Oh no.
I mean, the Mordekaiser hasn't been in a lot of these fights, but what I think New Valley's realized, if you can isolate out that Mordekaiser, you're looking pretty dang good if you can win some of these fights out. So right now, as long as this Volibear from Captain Panda can keep isolating out the Mordekaiser, New Valley's going to have a better chance of anything because everywhere across the board, they're just out-leveling them.
Absolutely. So Mordekaiser's purpose is to take someone out of the team fight, right? But if Mordekaiser's not there, he's not there to take anybody out of the team fight. And so, like you said, keeping him busy. We saw Captain Panda's pockets. It was breathing full, but he can't really leave the lane because if he does, the Mordekaiser is just going to start roaming around. And so we might start seeing that now that the top outer turret has fallen in favor of Captain Panda, freeing him up a lot so you can see him roaming around the Herald area now. But it's becoming increasingly more difficult for the side of Hawaii Baptist Academy to farm. They are not going to be able to get this third dragon, and I was telling you, the teams that get the first 2 dragons have been able to close it out and finish it up. If New Valley are able to get this mountain dragon, they're going to be so tanky.
They're going to try to trade this out for the Rift Herald, though, but not before a fight happens. Here comes Captain Panda on the back end. The dragon is taken in the meanwhile here, but the Mordekaiser can only do oh so much in this situation. A 1v1
it's
inside
so
here, and it's the Volibear that keeps them up, and it's going to be a dragon, and it's going to be a Rift Herald headed on over. Actually, it might not be a Rift Herald because there's only 5 seconds left before that switches on over to the Baron anyways, but they now take that fight to mid as Lunarox is there, and New Valley marching on over from what looks to be a Baron push.
It is definitely going to be a Baron call. They took out the jungler recently. There's no Hex Gates to make the jungler arrive at the Baron pit faster. And not only that, Lilia doesn't have a way into the pit. There's nothing that goes over walls in Lilia's kit. The blast plant's not there. There's no point in contesting it. What you should really do right now if you're on the side of HBA is just push out your lanes and prepare for the inevitable. Captain Panda is more than well equipped to push a lane by himself. So is Master Q. And so you could potentially start seeing a 1v1. I think teams recently in this tournament, they favored grouping way more. If New Valley decide to group, that is actually really good for HBA because now if you want to just slowly, back up and take this 4v5, you can have the Mordekaiser push up a side lane and get those objective bounties.
And look at the lead as well. I mean, this is turning into a snowball effect, if you will, and the snowball's getting as big as Nunu and Willem can get in through a lane right now. I mean, 38.5 to 26.4. I would know because I'm a Nunu and Willem player. I just love Nunu and Aren. It's very good to play. But anyways, it's a 12K gold lead right now for New Valley. They have Baron advantage. They have, Dragon advantage right now. They're on soul point, if you will. So right now, 12 kills ahead. Everything is going their way. Hawaii Baptist Academy needs to find something. They need to find what looks to be a prayer at this point to try to get anything going here. Mokuzu's in a lot of trouble down in bot lane, though, as first of all, and Banini Boy is going to go right at them. ICB wanted to try something, but backs off for a little while. Another airborne for right now. Mokuzu might get away with their lives just barely. And right now, it's looking like bot lane's going to fall for a little while here. Meanwhile, once one comes, the cavalry is in. That's exactly what the Mordekaiser is finding out right now. What Captain Panda is there. a fight going down in bot and mid, and a fight going down in top river as well, but the Mordekaiser can only wait for death, and now in a 2v4 situation, they can turn this all the way around, though. Bonini Boy's got 3, and this is going to be an inhibitor, this is going to be a turn, and this is going to be a push-up for New Valley.
That could be the game. That's 4 people on 30-second death timers. There's already Baron Power minions pushing up into the bottom side. They're going to get this inhibitor for free. You can push it in. Bonini is so strong right now. Does get drowsied up, is going to fall asleep under the tower. I don't know if that was the choice there. Stacking up the style, and look at that. Icy already half health. Inferno trigger procced once again, but not going to find anything of it. He's going to...
Oh, wait, that turret takes him also low, but turns it right around on him. Oh, my gosh. Bonini Boy with the absolute disrespect, just turning it around on them and just making a show out of that. And look for Bonini Boy, he's just staying there right now. Even
he's staring death in the face. Well, he can't get out right now. He
right
needs the minions.
Wall. No.
He's kind of low, you know?
But he's able to get out thanks to Lunarox right there. Lunarox is right there, taking him out. But in the meanwhile, Brisbane wants to go right in. They destroy top turret in the meanwhile here. They've only got 1 more turret inside of the base left to go before it gets to Nexus turrets, and that's the one in mid, which they opt to go for or to back off for right now. Master's going to get, it looks like, this top turret pretty easily here. And so right now, I mean, Hawaii Baptist Academy just backing away, but it's not going to win them the game if they keep doing this.
It is definitely not going to win them the game, and I think that the choice is not theirs anymore. We have seen New Valley, they're the ones going in, they're the ones making the engage, they're dictating the pace. If HBA are behind on a play, this could be the end of the game. Baron is about to wear out now. They were only able to pierce 1 of the inhibitors, but the other 2 turrets, they are so low. They are below a 3rd HP. They're not going to regenerate any further than that. And, you know, New Valley, they've taken up so many resources. They're going to drain the jungle of HBA now, which is going to leave them with little to no resources and that dragon.
And here's how you know that they are the kings of game 1, like you were saying, right? Everybody's got a bounty on them right now except for the Galio. All the outer turrets are still up as well for this team from New Valley. I mean, Hawaii Baptist Academy just trying to struggle their way through the finish line right now, if they can even get there. But now on Soul Point, you see New Valley just going around on this dragon right now, and there's really no vision from Hawaii Baptist right now, so they have no guess as to where they're going to be for right now. Maybe they're either in the jungle pushing or they're just looking right now, but they know for New Valley that this is Soul Point. You want to get this, try to get this as fast to end the game as fast as possible.
The no vision thing is so suffocating, I would say. The deepest ward they have is not that far out of their base. You can see it right there on the mini-map. It is right across the wolf camp. And that just means, you know, like you said, they don't know that this is happening, but not only that, they can't do anything about it. They have to send 3 people just to deal the super wave on the bottom side, and they're trying to send people out to the jungle just to get any camps remaining so that they could at least have a little more gold in their pocket. But now you have a permanent buff on the side of NVMS. That is going to be the shield that comes with out of combat and the bonus resistances of the Mountain Dragon. One final push is all it's going to take. They might choose to synchronize it with those super minions going onto the bot side.
I mean, you still got Baron coming up in here in a little while as well. Baron buff ran up a while ago, but it still could come up here in a little while as well. But really, I mean, in a 17-kill deficit, a 16K gold deficit, not much you can do if you lose one fight. You can either end the game for HBA right now, or New Valley, excuse me. It's win a fight, you either end the game or you can go for Baron and then end the game afterwards. I mean, really, just the snowball effect is just going every which way it is. And look, again, no vision down the river here for Hawaii Baptist as well. So this is all New Valley's jungle right now to look at as really just, I mean, look at what they've got right now. And look at the items that they have for the set, basically. I mean, the mythic item, the hard skill as well, 143, but still not enough for the damage output that is being made by New Valley right now. So they're going to try to push this down middle just a little bit, push up the wave and see if they can get that mid turret for right now. I mean, you're facing 2 big guys right now down that mid lane. Meanwhile, Bonini Boy on the right side. Be careful, Bonini Boy, because he got that triple earlier on as well. The lane being taken for right now, but the Mordekaiser's going to dive right in. Bonini Boy's in that back line as well, trying to take down ICB, but they do stop him for just a little while. Mid-turret does go down. It's open range here for New Valley to go in. They do get the Samira down, but at what cost? It could be the rest of the team. The Mordekaiser is just in the middle of the fray with no escape whatsoever. ICB, IDK, and Mokazu, the only 3 left alive to try to do anything here. It's going to be 2 of the Nexus turrets in trouble. That's the first one down, looking for the second. This could very well be the end game for them, but it's desperation mode here for Hawaii Baptist Academy. They get the first Nexus turret down, but for the second, they'll back away for right now.
They can choose to push it. Obviously, the safer path is to not. They just took down all 3 inhibitors, so they're going to have that 7v5 statistic going on in terms of the minions basically counting for 2 people. That's going to be not a cancel back. Interesting. Yes, because it was shielded, so no cancel there going on. But we see all 3 inhibitors come back up. This one actually is just now alive, so a sign of life for HBA, not having a lot of super minion waves coming out. But I mean, it is just almost all but over. The bot lane being so behind means there's no real AD threat on the side of HBA to shred through the armor that the Volibear, that the Wukong, that even the Samira has because of those boosts that we talked about.
Right, and it looks like this is going to be now or never here for Hawaii Baptist Academy. Again, no vision in the river anyways, and no vision in the Baron pit. So for New Valley right now, they know that this is all systems go here for this Baron, because right now this Baron pretty much potentially ends the game right after this fight. And so they are going to be able to take the Baron. Nobody in sight to try to steal it, and Baron is taken by New Valley. So now it's just a rundown, and again, Baron buff brings the recall back out faster. So now this is pretty much the green light here for New Valley to try to end this.
Green light indeed. We did see, I mentioned it, the 1-3-1 possibility. I wasn't expecting the Samira to be the one pushing by herself, but she's feeling it, The Samira Benini boy is absolutely feeling it, can definitely do that. They are going to start to look to group after they drained out the jungle, just in case any reprieve moment could happen here. That's going to be the Moonlight Vigil going wide, though. Final push here.
Oh, here comes the ultimate from the Pantheon that's going to lead them right in. Samira's already got 2, looking for more. And the Samira looks to try to get the entire clip here, but they might not get it. It's a run back to the fountain anyways. 3 down. Pantheon's got a few more coming up, and the Nexus will start to fall, and New Valley is going to head on over to championship point, winning this one in convincing fashion.